Move on now to our final formal presentation before the panel session. And this will be given to us by Siji Lee, who is the product marketing manager at what used to be Dialog, now Renesas. Siji has been in that role at now Renesas since 2020. Previously, he's worked for a range of other similar companies, companies including, where are we now, NXP, Trident Microsystems, and others. And Siji is going to be talking to us about the evolution to DECT NR+. So thank you, Siji, over to you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Siji Lee. It's really a great honor for me to join this time the DECT Forum webinar. And with this presentation, I hope that we can explain about the from our Renesas view of the DECT evolution to the DECT NR+ standard, and to give you some more insight of what we see the opportunity with the DECT NR+, and also give you also some information about Renesas business with the DECT. And yeah, again, about myself, my name is Siji Lee. So I'm the product marketing manager working from business unit audio and voice from former Dialog, current Renesas Electronics since 2020 January. I'm mainly in charge of the DECT module and general purpose codecs business, and my previous experience is mainly spent most of my career in NXP Semiconductors, and I'm located in Den Bosch, the Netherlands. Okay, so this is today's agenda. So from my presentation today, I would like to talk about the DECT revolution, especially regarding the variety applications being used, also the strength of the market overview so far using the DECT technology. And secondly, I would like to talk about the DECT product portfolio, which follows the DECT technology standard evolution. After that, I would like to focus on the latest DECT 5G NR+, about Renesas strategy and our idea and a view of the opportunity in the future with DECT 5G NR+. At the end, I will wrap up with the conclusion of our presentation. Speaking of the DECT standard, we as former Dialog, now Renesas Electronics team, has followed with it since the very beginning. It has a pretty good, great history, starting from 30 years ago, and with a steady pace going forward with many great innovations, such as the high-quality voice call with the CAT IQ and ULE standard for smart home usage. And recently, DECT's evolution standard with ultra reliable low latency feature, which has great potential for many wireless applications, and also the future DECT 5G and NR+ standard. DECT standard is going very strong with such a steady pace of innovations. Speaking of the DECT applications, most of people, including myself, have most of the impression of using DECT as a residential telephony application. And actually, the residential telephony application, even though is declining, but still has a quite large coverage, especially used by a more senior age group market. And besides DECT telephony, that DECT is also widely used in unified communication market, and being recognized as really differentiating technology for enterprise market, especially during the pandemic time, which gives a great benefit for many people, customer who is using more and more home office. And DECT is actually used also by a large variety application nowadays, such as wireless microphone usage in the education market, which requires highly reliable connections and high quality audio. And it also being widely used for elderly care system, such as an emergency call system for home usage and nursing house. And we see that elderly care market is also growing rapidly, since the undeniable truth that we see the world is aging, and senior aging group is becoming much bigger, which really requires such reliable and mission critical wireless technology to be used for such application. And speaking of mission critical usage, we see also our product with the DECT wireless technology being used for application like firefighting group intercom system, or intercom system for film or media industry, with great range covered, ultra reliable communication wireless applications. So coming back to the overview of the DECT use cases, that we see that DECT is still doing very strong with telephony applications, and also enterprise market, and it's also being widely used for smart home application and the pro audio market with the latest standard evolution. And it's also being recognized as a great technology to be used in the industrial IoT market. And Renesas' former Dialog team is sticking with the DECT technology evolution closely. We are one of the first pioneer group working with the original DECT standard, and with the DECT new generation standard, we came with our SC1444X platform, which is widely used with the residential telephony application. And some of the smart home application which with the ULE standards, and with the current latest DECT evolution standard, that we brought our DA14495, which is still one of the most powerful DECT SoC product in the market right now, which is widely used for enterprise application and pro audio wireless application, which utilize multi-level modulation for high-density usage and ultra-reliable low-latency communication with the high-quality audio possibility with the LC3 codec with low power consumption. And with the current DECT evolution standard, we see still great potential targeting with much larger product range, which requires such a ultra reliable low latency communication, and also possibility with the data transmission with the low power consumption as well. And expand even higher range of different wireless application market. We also came with two module solution, which targeting broad market application, and got a great success story in medical elderly care application, intercom application for semi-professional film and media market, and also education applications. And coming to DECT 5G NR+, we are following closely with the standard, and it's a great standard which just got approved by ATSI last year with a great potential OFDM modulation radio technology. And it's now approved as a new 5G technology, which we see a very bright future with the standard. And speaking of the benefits, and where we as a Renesas team like to focus with design with the DECT 5G NR+ standard, that we see that the DECT NR+ will come with even higher density possibility usage, and ultra low latency, that like even 4 milliseconds as a target. Is also benefit from a non-cellular 5G standard, that we believe that it will be a great fit for decentralized device-based local private mesh network, and able to fulfill the massive machine-to-machine communication application. And the NR+ will also inherit the specs such as interference-free and long-distance coverage with the secure and reliable wireless communication from the older DECT standard. And we would like to also concentrate on the design with the low power consumption and cost effective to make sure that the product can meet the market expectations with the target market. For example, from our point of view, that with even higher density and lower latency we can achieve with NR+, we see great opportunity for using the NR+ in the IoT market, massive machine communication, and application usage in the smart city, for example. And another potential great market we see with the NR+, the industrial IoT market, which requires ultra high reliable communication between the voice communication and wireless industrial control system. Coming to a conclusion with my presentation. Actually, many of some of the customer think that the DECT is not so active anymore, but we can see, especially like previous old great presentations we just saw, that DECT is still steadily evolving with a great innovation and also has so much potential that we can work with it. And our Renesas team will always follow the latest DECT technology standards evolution, and will stick with its come with the best performance leading product. And we see that with the evolution to a new NR+ standard, we can extend to even more opportunities which requires even higher density and with even lower latency requirement, and new potential use cases which is here to discover. And the product with NR+ is on our roadmap, and we would like to make sure that we will come up with the low power and definitely a cost effective product which will fulfill the match with the expectation from the NR+ target market.
All right. So any questions so far?
Perhaps a question I have. I mean, Renesas is obviously, you know, a global player in terms of some of these markets and so on. And you know, one of the things I think one of the earlier presenters commented on was the lack of DECT footprint in China and India. Yeah. Have you any thoughts perhaps on the Asian markets? Obviously, yeah. You know, DECT as it is currently is in some of those markets.
Yeah, exactly. So myself, actually, I'm originally from China. I'm from Beijing. It's definitely for me, I will be really happy to work with to expand the DECT with the Asian market. And I think there's so much potential because actually, like I just mentioned, some of the product which we have a great success story with DECT, they're actually coming from even company from China. So we have like this intercom system. It's actually developed by a Chinese company, and with a really great performance. And also we see that they really see the great potential with the DECT standard. And I myself, I really believe that we should be able to expand even further to like China and India market. And there's quite a big potential there. To be expand with the DECT standard, and also it's they see this as a very differentiating technology to be used.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean,
Walter, maybe Roel wants to comment the fact that we're starting out a China working group again in DECT Forum.